I'm fired. Well, in closing, I would like to say that Smart Water is the purest tasting water there is. What are we going to call this video?
Jen Aniston's sex tape?
I love it.
So we're increasingly thinking of things like that. That video, by the way, was dirt cheap. It was basically a white room with some people, and I mean, Jennifer Aniston costs a lot of money. You know, if you look at some of the, if you look at the actual guts of the video, though, they're very cheap to do, and we're thinking, how do we're increasingly thinking about to champion sustainability and connect people with our corporate goals to make our presence on Earth a little bit more sustainable. How can we create dozens and dozens of videos for $500 a piece? So these things don't have to be expensive. They just need to be clever. They need to be engaging, and they need to be under 2.5 minutes long. Mm-hmm. So that's what we've learned from video.
How would you have responded, like, let's say the Dancing Babies or some such had received a lot of backlash from conservative groups or et cetera, and if there had been an equally strong social media push against it, how would you handle something like that?
So that touches on what was going to be my last topic, if you will, which is the need to prepare for a crisis. And it's really unlikely that we would say a backlash had occurred from that video about the Dancing Babies. It's really unlikely that we would have heard about it in a print newspaper on a TV station. It's almost certain that we would have heard about it online. We take crisis planning really seriously at Coke, but that tends to be when people get sick or people drink the product and get sick. What that team considers a crisis to be something that's a product quality issue, or Japan, or a plant has exploded. So we're going through the process right now where we talk about, where we're thinking about and talking about with each other about, hey, what about activist claims or activist campaigns against us, or how would we respond to Dancing Babies? The response to Dancing Babies would probably have been as tongue-in-cheek and humorous as we could have made it, and said, hey, what we were trying to do was a video that was funny, and we think that we made it. That's, in the grand scheme of things, not a big deal. But what does keep us up are things like activist campaigns against us or whatnot, and we don't necessarily have the answers to that. We have a really comprehensive monitoring program, which gives us a heads up and gives us time. We happen to have a really strong Facebook presence. We have corporate properties, like for instance, if you have a blog, where you can take your case straight to consumers and drive people to that. We'll make use of paid marketing, search engine marketing, where we actually buy words to make sure that we get our voice out there. But I don't think anybody has the crisis element solved yet. I think BP just shows that you would think that company probably has extensive crisis communications plans, and we're completely blindsided by what happened to them. You cannot go out and preemptively buy every possible Twitter attack, handle. Right. It's just not doable. So the time to recruit allies is when you don't need them. I'm certain that somebody is going to come after you one day. I would lay money on it. And
one day, once a week.
But the people who are implacably opposed to what you do are also getting organized. So I would say use this time to do what you have been doing, which is, put the fundamentals in place. Make sure you have a following on your blog. Build really solid relationships with influencers who can protect you and come to your aid online. Reach out to and build strong relationships with online news publications that are thought leading, particularly within the Beltway and are in that echo chamber that you live in. because that's what we're doing, because that's the thing that we think will be most successful. And then, you know, get ready for when it happens. And if you have a CEO who isn't strong with the media, think twice. Poor BP could have used that lesson, but get ready, because I'm sure that they're coming. I don't know if that answered your question. It was sort of a, we're not solid on that. So,
tell us about your monitoring program. What can you share?
So we have an agreement with a company called Sysomos. There are a couple of heavyweights. Radian6 and Sysomos are the two largest. We contracted with Sysomos in December because they provide really solid language support. They can monitor for us in 186 languages. So we began the global deployment of that in January. We do a monthly retrospective look back at about 27 topics that are of strong interest to us. We monitor chatter around those, as well as some of the chatter around our chief competitors, and we provide that to all of our field teams. So along with that comes insights of, hey, you know, we noticed this month people are talking a lot about water in the Netherlands. So local Netherlands team, dig into that in Dutch by going in and monitoring in Dutch and tell us, hey, you know, what are people saying about water and why suddenly was there this big spike about conversations about water? We don't have the resources at corporate to do that ourselves. We really have to enable those field teams to do it. That's the only way it scales. We would need 60 people to monitor for every language if we wanted to do that at the center, but we really want to build those capabilities in the field.